Okay, I'm going to talk through a couple projects on this 2010 Triumph Bonneville. These are going to be short little videos. I'm going to give you just a few tips that I think might help you if you're trying to do something similar or install a similar part on your bike. This particular video, I'm going to focus on the rear sets. I'm going to focus on the rear brake, and that's going to be kind of all I talk about in this video. So first off, I threw on, this is a 2010 Triumph Bonneville. It has Thruxton rear sets that I found on eBay for about, I think 90 bucks. If you get Thruxton rear sets off eBay, just assume that you're going to have to rebuild, you know, essentially this kind of, the place where you have the brake cylinder. See this piece right here? Just assume you'll have to rebuild it. It doesn't cost too much. I think I actually, the part is like $18 for this push rod, so real affordable. I was able to reuse a lot of parts. I did end up getting a new one of these hoses. That wasn't much, maybe $10, $15. And of course, all new banjo bolts. The rest of it I was all able to reuse. I installed British Customs brake fluid reservoir, nothing tricky to that. It worked just like you would expect. You'll notice that it has LSL Rearsets on it. So these are LSL Rearsets, the kind that fold up. I like them, you know, no complaints. They work good. The one thing I'll say is, when you get these, don't just bolt them on and be done. These particular ones have a bolt that goes through the middle here, so go ahead and take that bolt out, put a little bit of blue Loctite or some sort of mild Loctite on it, and then, you know, bolt them back down so that they don't come loose on you, just because, you know, you don't assume that they've done that when you get these. The install went pretty smooth. Just to give you a different look at them, you can see that they kind of, you remove some of the hardware, like you see that piece right there. You remove some of the foot pegs and the hardware, and then these bolt on top, and you know, they're nice and they work really well and they're real smooth. This particular bike has a longer swing arm, which I'll cover in another video. Let me back up for a second. You can kind of see it here. Has a longer swing arm by about 3 inches. So I went and got a custom brake cable from HEL Performance, I think that's what they're called. Great company out of Europe. I had a really good experience working with them. They were able to help me build a custom cable. It has all the right bends, but it's just a little bit longer because I have a longer rear swing arm. And you need to use a little bit longer cable if you are going to do this this caliper relocation that I just did here. You see, if you look at that, it's normally on the bottom. If you want to put it on top, you're going to probably need a longer cable, and I recommend this particular company. I had a really good experience working with them, and they were really just a beautiful cable. I mean, steel braided, black, it's just gorgeous. The one thing about putting that brake caliper on top like that, there's a trick to bleeding the brakes. I didn't actually finish the brake bleed myself. I used Triumph of Seattle that finished the brake bleed. But you'll see on the forums, they talk about how you have to take this, actually it'd be like, hold on. It'd be like this. You have to take this off and lower it down, you know, lower below the brake reservoir. So you have to unbolt it, put something in between these two pads so that, you know, when you can actually bleed the brake, and then you drop it down low. The shop told me that another trick that they used to make this all go smoothly and bleed the brakes was to tilt it upright like this, if you can see, so the nipple is at the top. So they imagine they took this like this, they moved it down here, and then went like that, and it bled properly. Other than that, nothing else to report. I mean, the brake is great, everything works fine, the rear sets work as expected. I'll just give you a quick look at what they look like in the front. You know, you can kind of see really nice linkage down here. You know, the parts are all really well built, really nice parts, no complaints there. So that gives you an overview of the brake swap, what was involved there, having to put a custom cable on it, and also the LSL Rearset that I installed, which were also, you know, kind of a nice easy install, nothing to it. Hopefully you'll find this helpful.